Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books and marketing expert covering Bud Light. Bud Light is in a total panic right now because they have sales numbers that we don't yet have. We have the sales ended for the week June 24th compared with the year prior. Those sales are down 31.3%, which is the biggest drop since the Bud Light Dylan Mulvaney promotion came out on April 1st. That compares it from 1 year prior for the same week. We don't have the sales for July 4th, but we've got the first indications of the sales for July 4th. I like to see the exact numbers directly from Bump Williams, the consultant that's been pushing out numbers to all the media. But we do have two very serious indications that the July 4th sales for Bud Light were much worse than expected. We have a map that was assembled showing the number one beer in every state in the United States. Bud Light and Budweiser used to have that. They used to have like 29 states that they were the most popular beer in. Now they have no states that they are the most popular beer in, and I'm going to show you the map and where the numbers were derived from. And of course, we also have the recent really sad report that 2 glass bottle plants have to lay off all of their employees and close down the plants because they do not have orders anymore from Bud Light, and they do not expect to get orders from Bud Light to produce more bottles anytime soon. This is not turning around in a week. This is not turning around in a few months or after an advertising campaign. This is not ever turning around. They're not going to be the number one beer ever again. It's finished. Let's get into the story. Before we do, please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up. Really appreciate you guys. I'm trying to get to 25,000 subscribers, so if you can subscribe, please do subscribe. So here's an article from the Federalist Papers, but it's all being sourced off of cookoutnews.com that did research to see what is the number one beer in every one of the 50 states for July 4th. This isn't the first time that people have researched what's the number one beer on a specific holiday or during a particular time. Taking a look at the 2020 map, this is coming from Fox 35 Orlando, Super Bowl beer map. Here's which brew each state will probably be drinking on Sunday. So published January 30th, 2020, coming out of Los Angeles. This is what it used to be. I'm going to give you the spoiler alert right now. It's not like this anymore. Of course, I'm going to show you the current map, but this is the way it used to be so you can see how much they lost. This is what they had in 2020. Recent research showed that breweries Bud Light or Budweiser label were the most popular Super Bowl beers in 29 states across the country, including California, Texas, and Florida. That's right, they even blew it in California. A beer's popularity was determined by analyzing over 50,000 tweets from users in different states and tracking mentions of the Super Bowl with that particular brew. The research compiled by thedaringkitchen.com shows that Bud Light was generally the most popular beer in the Midwest, with Budweiser dominating drinkers' taste in the South. Those results are somewhat unsurprising, considering that Anheuser-Busch is headquartered in St. Louis. Also unsurprising, Coors Light was generally the most popular among Western states, as the Coors Brewery is located in Golden, Colorado. But Coors still ranked as the favorite among tweeters in Michigan and New York, according to the research. Miller Lite and Guinness still command a strong showing by ranking as the favorite beer of 6 different states each. So this is where they came from. Now, where have they gone? This is from the Federalist Papers. New map showing most popular beer by state spells even more bad news for Bud Light. Recent data analysis conducted by grilling website cookoutnews.com for the 4th of July holiday for 2023 revealed surprising trends in beer preferences across the United States, presenting a challenge for once dominant brand Bud Light. In the map compiled by cookoutnews.com depicting state-by-state beer favorites, Bud Light and other Anheuser-Busch offerings were conspicuously missing. Notably, not a single state displayed a preference for Bud Light during the 4th of July festivities. Historically, and we just covered that, Bud Light held the position as America's top-selling beer for 2 consecutive decades, actually 22 years. However, the brand has recently seen a significant decrease in sales with an uninterrupted decline spanning 11 weeks. The sales figures recorded just prior to the 4th of July marked the most pronounced dip yet, and that was a 31.3% decline in volume. Contrasting with Bud Light's slump, brands such as Modelo Especial and Coors Light are witnessing a surge in popularity. According to the data provided in the map, Modelo Especial now holds strong appeal across the southern half of the United States, stretching from California to Florida. Interestingly, the Pacific Northwest showed no particular allegiance in beer preference, aligning with regional expectations. In Pennsylvania, home of Yuengling, the brand emerged as the top choice. Miller Lite, on the other hand, seemed to be gaining traction across multiple states. Here's the map via Outkick. The map shows Modelo Especial, Coors Light, Miller Lite, Yuengling, and Michelob Ultra. Michelob Ultra is owned by Anheuser-Busch, so that's the one beer they have. Modelo Especial is owned by Constellation Brands in the United States. The rest of the world Anheuser-Busch has, so Anheuser-Busch does not benefit from the sales of Modelo Especial in the United States because it's distributed by their competitor. As they comment here, what makes this data even more interesting is to take a look at what the most popular beer brands by state map looked like just a few short months ago. Just a few months ago, here's what the hottest beers were. Take a look. If you look, you see Budweiser, you see Bud Light, you see Busch Light, Stella Artois. You see all kinds of brands that are owned and controlled by Anheuser-Busch. After Dylan Mulvaney's promotion on April 1st, they lost all of this business. This is billions of dollars of value gone because of an absolutely ridiculous promotion that should have never happened. But even after the promotion happened, Alyssa Heinerschied, who's in charge of Bud Light, and her boss did not respond to the public and let the public know, hey, we just did this one can and it was a mistake. We should not have put Dylan Mulvaney's face on our Bud Light brand. That was not what we expected to do. It was an accident. We apologize. They never did it. They didn't do it when it happened. They didn't do it weeks after it happened. They didn't do it now. And this cost them billions of dollars. But in addition to them, they also caused 2 glass bottling plants to close. These plants were not owned by the Bud Light people, not owned by Anheuser-Busch. This was an outside contracted company whose main job was to provide these union jobs, deliver glass bottles to Anheuser-Busch for Bud Light. Now with Bud Light not selling anymore anywhere near the way it used to sell, and the 31.3% number is definitely on the low side. Whatever the real number is, it looks like it's a heck of a lot higher. I have numbers from Florida showing a 60% sales drop in Florida. I've seen Pennsylvania off 45%, New York off 50%, Delaware off 40%. Only Anheuser-Busch has the exact numbers, and they are not putting those numbers out. And if the numbers were not as bad as everybody thinks, they would have put the numbers out. But you can't hide when your glass bottling plant closes because they think essentially you're never going to be buying bottles from them. Obviously, they'll still sell some beer in the South, but not enough to support 2 manufacturing plants. These were in Louisiana and in North Carolina. You can imagine the sales in North Carolina and Louisiana must be off tremendously. And of course, the main problem that Bud Light has is they can't even do social media. They can't do advertising. Everything they do is wrong because nobody trusts them, because people feel violated by the Dylan Mulvaney promotion. What do they say here July 4th? It's the 4th of July, enjoy some beer. Any other beer company could have put that out and it wouldn't have gotten a negative response. People would have said, oh, okay, whatever. Some people would have retweeted it. Nobody trusts Bud Light. Nobody wants to be associated with Bud Light. So they assume the worst no matter what they do. Similarly, they do this Travis Kelce grunting commercial. It's taken terribly. Everyone is insulted seeing this. Everything they do is taken as negative. So the sales can't turn around. There's nothing for them to turn around to. Things have gotten so bad for Bud Light that it's actually cheaper than water in some stores. And even being cheaper than water, they still can't get rid of it. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Always love to see your ideas. I think the sales in reality have to be off at least 50%. I can't see how bottling plants are shutting down because they're obviously not getting any orders for Bud Light unless demand has completely dropped off to near zero. Otherwise, they could produce at least some bottles. Maybe they close one of the plants, but not both of the plants. Maybe they would do it temporarily and then open up 6 months later. What you should start to see now is comments from Anheuser-Busch explaining their relationship with those 2 glass bottling plants, because since they don't do that, all you have to do is use your imagination and that makes things even worse for the company. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Always love to see your ideas. Please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.